Hi everyone, I'm on my way to my second market and I'm right inside my car. I'm outside a convenience store. I'm just waiting for the time so I can drive to the venue because they have a specific time that we can come in. So I'm pretty excited. This is the first time that I do pin badges and pocket mirrors at the venue. So good luck with me. See you there. Is it worth participating in Japanese markets? How much does it cost to participate in markets? And if you stay until the end of this video, I can show you how much I made in the 3-day market that I participated in. In today's video, let's see how we do markets in Japan, the application process during and after the event. As of today, I have participated in 3 markets already, 2 locals and 1 away from home. So if you're interested in the process and how much did I make in these markets, stay with me until the end of this video. This was my setup on my second market. It was a Saturday and it was at a flower park. It was so rainy though, so we didn't have that many people. And this was my setup on my third market. This was the local one. It was the same venue as my first market, so it was only a 40-minute drive from ours. I was alone this time, so I had to do everything. I had to do the setup from the tent to the display, so I'm pretty proud of what I've done. This is me preparing for the instructions and prices for the market. So I had my first market on May 10 and 11th. It was 2 days. And my second market was on May 31st. It was a 1-day market. The process was really easy. I just had to fill out a form when applying and then wait for the email for confirmation. However, everything is in Japanese and that is the hardest part for me. Even if we Google Translate it, there are still things that I couldn't understand, so I made a few mistakes with the application form. Yeah, I made mistakes with the description of my shop. I didn't know what it was at first, so I think it affected my sales on the day of the market. In the form, we have to specifically describe what we are selling, but I just said it's a stationery shop. I learned that it is better to specify my products and what I'm selling on the day. I think that other shops had better sales because they have a better understanding of the system. Although I know it was my first time and it was a good learning ground for me. There is also a language barrier, of course. It makes it more difficult to do transactions and email exchanges. It takes time for me to compose an email in Japanese. And of course, we have to speak Japanese at the market. We are talking to customers, so we have to use the keigo expressions. We have to use the polite Japanese expressions. And I learned how to copy other shop owners, so it worked for me. This is me setting up everything alone, so you can see and you can tell that doing markets are not easy. It's a lot of effort and it's a lot of time, so especially if you're alone. But how do we look for events? How do I look for events? Actually, there are a lot of event organizers, and I just find them by following co-shop owners. I see their accounts and schedules, and I follow who they follow. They usually have a link on their bio and either websites or application forms. So if you are also looking for events, I recommend this style. Follow shop owners and see who they are following. I also research using hashtags and research on YouTube, but it's not as effective as the first one. So this is how I find events to apply to. Usually 1 week before the event, I check my products and see if there are enough inventory, but for my past markets, I overstock and I ended up not knowing what to do with the many products that I made. It's fun making though. So you can see me setting up my tent here. It's a very sturdy tent. I made sure that I invested in a good tent. On the day of the event, I wake up early, like 6 a.m., and drive to the venue. When I had the market in a different prefecture, I had to take the highway to arrive on time. But this local market, it usually takes 40 to 50 minutes depending on the place. I eat breakfast on the way and buy lunch to save money, especially if I'm alone. During the event, I like to make friends with my neighbors and other shops. However, sometimes language barriers come in and I ended up just staying in my booth alone instead of socializing. Although all of them are really kind and understanding, they taught me better ways to do markets. They shared their experiences and they gave me some advice. We exchanged information about our products, how we make them, and sometimes what tools we use. I think it took me about 2.5 hours to set up the tent and display my products. I also shared this on my previous video. I have a lot of lessons that I learned from my markets. It is great to make friends in the market and meet different kinds of people, meet different types of customers as well. A lot of them say my products are so cute, and it's just great to learn new things in general. It makes me really happy when kids love my stickers. When I give it to them at checkout, they look so happy, and it's such a rewarding feeling.
Please, just tell me what's on your mind. 'Cause I don't have time to figure it out. Figure it out. We haven't been our best for long. I think that we're just holding on to something that won't work out. Maybe we should walk away, just say goodbye and go our separate ways.
So in here you can see the process of making pin badges. I bought these die cutters to make the process so much easier. I got them from Amazon. And if you want to be able to do the same and make products like pin badges and mirrors on the spot, like I do here, here are the things that you need. You need a power supply. I got this from Amazon. You need a printer, of course, to be able to print at the market. This might not be necessary, but I like to have extension cords. You need a cutter. I bought this cutter from Kinds. And of course, you need the badge makers and a pocket Wi-Fi. Okay, this is it. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. This is how much I made in my past two markets. The first market, the one-day market, it was rainy, so as I've said, we didn't have many people, and I did not meet my sales either. I only made It did not cover the booth fee, which was 3,000 yen, and I also took the highway. The toll was 800 yen. Of course, I also ate breakfast and lunch, and I think it was about 1,500 yen. I bought coffee at the market, and it was 500 yen. On the first day of my recent market, my third market, it was a Saturday. I was so happy that I was able to meet my sales. I was able to make 5,650 and the booth fee is 3,500. So I finally made a profit from a market. On the second day, it was definitely better. There were more people, and I made a total sale of 8,800 yen. So I'm so happy and I was so glad. I was celebrating at the end of the day because finally I was able to make profit from a market. It was so much good feeling. It was so rewarding. I had a lot of orders and I had a kid actually who went to that event again, and I remember her face. She bought from us on the first market, and she bought the gacha thing again. Thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone who bought from us. I know life is expensive, but thank you so much for choosing us. Thank you for your orders, and also to the other shop owners. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for talking to me. And quite a few shop owners actually placed some orders. So thank you so much for watching until the end. My next event will be on July 5 and 6. It will be a second-hand market, but let me see if this will be the right market for me. I'm pretty excited for this one too because it will be my first time to sell tumblers. I finally bought a sublimation printer and a mug press, so I will be able to make tumblers and cups, and I will be selling them on my next market.
I tried so hard to make you happy, and I know that you tried your best as well to make me smile. And I can feel it deep inside. We will never work this out. We will never work this out. I can feel it deep inside. We will never work this out. We will never work this out. We're falling down. We're falling down. What's happening right now? I think we're falling down. 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 I think we're falling down.
And that is the end of today's video. I hope you learned something. I hope this gave you an insight on how we do markets in Japan. I do enjoy markets. I love it when people stop by and buy from us. Although I say that it is not easy, it takes a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and a lot of time. So thank you. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.